Ever wonder how a fast food franchise makes your burger taste exactly the same, whether you're in New York or Tokyo? Or how the topper in your class seems to breeze through board exams? Both operations are built on the same 100-year-old factory logic. That logic comes from Frederick Winslow Taylor, the father of scientific management. Taylor didn't start at the top. He began his career working the floor at a steel company, worked his way up to become an engineer in 1884, and eventually published his rulebook, The Principles of Scientific Management, in 1911. Scientific management is the process of replacing traditional guesswork with data. Instead of relying on gut feeling or the old rule of thumb, where people did what felt right in the moment, Taylor argued for systematic, mathematical analysis to find the absolute best way to do a job. Replacing guesswork with precise observations scales up your output while lowering the mental load. This applies whether you are running a multi-million-dollar business or organizing a study schedule for board exams. Taylor built his theory on 4 main pillars. The first is science, not rule of thumb. This means carefully observing and analyzing a task to find the single best method, rather than doing things the old way. The second pillar is harmony, not discord. In traditional factories, managers and workers were often fighting. To meet production goals, both sides must drop the conflict and build a relationship. Next is cooperation, not individualism. This means true teamwork. Managers must guide employees and actually listen to their suggestions instead of just barking orders. Finally, development of each and every person to their greatest efficiency. Select workers carefully based on their skills and properly train them. When workers improve, they produce more, helping the entire organization prosper. Put these principles together, and you stop running a chaotic workplace. Instead, you build a unified, highly trained machine where everyone pulls together. This flowchart shows Taylor's functional foremanship. Instead of one manager, a worker is guided by 8 specialized bosses. On the left, 4 experts plan the work. On the right, 4 experts supervise actual production. Beyond organizing the bosses, Taylor introduced simplification, eliminating unnecessary sizes or varieties to save on machine and labor costs. He paired this with standardization, setting strict rules to ensure every single item produced maintains the exact same quality. This outlines method study, the SREDDIM process: select, record, examine, develop, define, install, and maintain. The goal is to evaluate assembly methods and lock in the single fastest, most efficient path. This graphic illustrates motion study. By comparing a worker's chaotic movements before with their streamlined movements after, managers can eliminate useless bending and reaching, speeding up the task. With time study, Taylor calculated the exact standard time a job should take. Then, with fatigue study, he figured out the length and frequency for rest intervals, ensuring workers had enough time to recharge. These techniques provide the mathematical blueprint needed to execute Taylor's broad principles in the real world. To make sure this system functions, you have to motivate the people doing the work. Taylor proposed the differential piece wage system. A worker who hits a daily target of 20 units gets a higher rate per unit than a worker who falls short at 18. Tying financial reward directly to efficiency. Money is only one part of the equation. Taylor also required a mental revolution. He believed that management and workers had to change their mindset. Instead of arguing over dividing existing profits, they needed to cooperate to increase the total size of those profits, so everyone takes home more. Strict scientific methods fail without the right incentives. Tying financial rewards to performance while fostering a cooperative mindset ensures that a factory reaches maximum output without building up resentment. If you're studying for your exams, you need to know how F.W. Taylor compares to Henri Fayol. While Taylor focused on factory-level production and making individual workers more efficient, Fayol focused on top-level administrative management and how to organize an entire corporation. Their biggest conflict comes down to the chain of command. Under Taylor's functional foremanship, a single worker takes orders from 8 different specialized bosses. Fayol directly opposed this. He strictly enforced the unity of command principle, where every employee must receive orders from only one manager to avoid confusion. You can apply Taylor's techniques straight to your study routine. Standardize your notes so they follow the same format. Use time studies on your mock exams so you know your pacing. And use fatigue studies to schedule your study breaks, making sure you rest before your brain burns out. To lock in your score, here are the high-probability questions to memorize. Be ready to take a screenshot of this. Watch for the 1-mark question identifying the father of scientific management, the 3-mark question explaining mental revolution, and the 5-mark question detailing the 8 bosses of functional foremanship. Mastering scientific management provides a framework for the board exams and a strategy for organizing any complex challenge. By moving from guesswork to measured, calculated efficiency, you gain a strategy for conquering the next phase of your career.